The first time I met the twin sisters, I had no idea how complicated things would get. They were from a feline-like alien race known as a Nairi, tall, graceful, with soft fur-like ears that twitched when they were curious, and long tail that swayed with every shift of emotion. Their features were humanoid, but their eyes, golden, sharp, and gleaming like predators in the night. The twins couldn't have been more different. Kayla, the elder by only a few minutes, was fiery and proud. She walked with her chin high, her tail flicking like a whip whenever she was annoyed. Siri, the younger, was gentler, softer, and always quick to laugh. I had been traveling with them for weeks, ever since they found me stranded in their sector of space. They'd saved my life more than once, and somewhere along the way, the three of us became inseparable. But that closeness came with dangers I hadn't anticipated. It happened after a long day of travel. We had crossed a barren moon on foot, supplies heavy on our backs. By the time we found shelter in a ruined stone temple, we were all exhausted. Siri slumped against the wall, her ears drooping, her tail limp. She looked so tired, I instinctively reached out and ran a hand through her hair, scratching lightly behind her ear. Her eyes widened, then closed with a soft purr. That feels nice. I chuckled. You've carried more than I did today. You deserve it. That's when I felt it, the shift in the air. I turned my head and froze. Kayla stood just a few feet away, arms crossed, eyes narrowed, tail lashing back and forth like an angry whip. Her ears angled sharply backward, a Nairi sign of jealousy. I swallowed. Kayla, You were just touching her, she snapped, her voice low and dangerous. My twin. Siri sat up quickly, flustered. Kayla, it's not what you think. He was just being kind. But Kayla's gaze didn't leave me. Kindness is one thing. That, she pointed at my hand, is something else entirely. You think you can scratch her ears and not answer for it. I didn't mean anything by it, I said carefully. Her tail flicked sharply. Then you'll apologize. Properly. 4 hours if I say so. I thought she was joking. She wasn't. The Nairi, as I quickly learned, had a cultural ritual for apologies. It wasn't a quick I'm sorry. It was a long, deliberate act of respect, showing the offended party patience, attention, and submission until they decided forgiveness had been owned. And Kayla was not about to let me off easy. She sat cross-legged in the middle of the ruined temple, tail curled neatly around her, eyes gleaming with smug satisfaction. You'll start, she said, by telling me exactly why you touched her. I sighed, sitting across from her, because she looked exhausted. I just wanted to comfort her. Louder, she commanded. I want the wolves to remember this. I raised my voice, because she looked exhausted, and I wanted to comfort her. Siri, sitting off to the side, tried to stifle a giggle. Kayla's ears flicked. Now, say you'll never pet her again without my permission. I rubbed my face. Seriously. Her golden eyes narrowed. Say it. Fine. I'll never pet Siri again without your permission. Good. Now repeat it. 50 times. 50. 50. And so began the longest apology of my life. For the next hour, I sat there repeating Kayla's demanded phrases, while she corrected my tone, my posture, and even the way I addressed her. Louder, with more sincerity. Look me in the eyes when you say it. At one point, she even made me bow my head while repeating the apology, and every time I hesitated, her tail flicked against my arm like a whip. Siri watched the whole thing with a mix of pity and amusement. Once, when Kayla wasn't looking, she mouthed, I'm sorry at me, her shoulders shaking with silent laughter. By the time Kayla finally leaned back, satisfied, my throat was dry and my pride thoroughly worn down. Good, she purred, her ears twitching in triumph. You've learned your lesson. Have I? I croaked. Yes. You'll remember who comes first. Her tail brushed against my leg, whether teasing or claiming. I couldn't tell. Then, to my shock, she smiled. Not her usual smirk of superiority, but something softer, almost affectionate. You could have refused, she said quietly, but you didn't. That means something human. For a moment, Her golden eyes softened, and I realized that jealousy wasn't just pride. It was fear. Fear of being overlooked. Fear of losing me to her twin. I opened my mouth to say something, but before I could, Siri leaned in from behind and whispered with a mischievous grin. Now you owe me an apology, too. Kayla's ears shot straight up. Siri. I groaned, covering my face. I'm never getting out of this alive, am I? The sisters only laughed, their voices echoing through the old temple. And though my throat was raw and my pride battered, I found myself smiling too. Because in that moment, I realized something. I wasn't just their traveling companion anymore. I was theirs. Both of theirs.